first conference? Who's here for their first time? Yeah, there we go. Let's see it. And to those who have been in TLG, we know that we never miss a conference, right? I remember my first conference. It was the catalyst of my TLG career. I advanced 6 months in my training in just 2 days. That's how important it is. And for you new people, I want you to understand something, okay? When you're here, open your minds, right? There are things in your life and your habits that need to change for you to be successful. One of those things is schedule, all right? Believe it or not, we operate on a schedule whether we think so or not. It doesn't have to be written down. We don't do things every day. We have a routine, okay? So, as far as me, I started at a small car dealership back in Maine, just a small used car dealership. I rose to the ranks pretty fast, became a finance manager, but then I topped out. I was like, okay, well, there's gonna be something else out there. So I made a lateral move to a franchise dealership. I was selling Fords, Lincolns, Hyundais, and then I was just started out as a salesman. And then I bumped up to internet sales manager. So I was controlling the internet team, the lead flow. I was top 3 salesman almost every month at the dealership. But I sacrificed a lot. Sacrificed my time, to spend with my family. I was working 50, 60 hours a week. I was living at the dealership. I had to come in on my days off just to keep sales. Otherwise I'd have to give it to another salesman. And then an opportunity came up where I was going to be placed as a finance manager. And at a franchise dealership, that's guaranteed $150,000 a year. Something I'd never done before. So I was, working my way in with the current finance manager, and he's been training me for 6 months. He was training me. And then one day they hired someone on the outside. So yeah, they hired someone from the outside. I went back to internet sales manager, and I was crushed. And I started to realize that there's something more. I was working for someone else. And wouldn't you know what God put in my life? TLG right at that moment. Right at that moment, right? Yeah, let's go! To be honest, I didn't believe it. I was skeptical because it sounded too good to be true, right? But I took a chance because what did I have to lose? And that's why I went to my first conference. And that's why I'm here where I am today, okay? So I made the swift move from car sales to insurance sales, and I just ran as hard as I could. I worked as hard as I could. I was pretty much winging it my first month. How many of you remember winging it your first month in here? Yeah, exactly. So I was winging it. And by winging it, I did 20K my first month. Yeah, let's go. But, you're not gonna make it in life if you continue to wing it. You're certainly not gonna make it in life. So I had a sophomore slump. I was at the top, I became a rising star, and then a few months after that, I started hitting low production, very low production. And I was very frustrated. I was starting to get frustrated with, maybe this isn't for me, what's going on? But I didn't want to give up. I had a drive and a tenacity to be better. And I knew that the one thing I can change in life every time is me and my mind. I could change my mindset, okay? So I started to reach out to my uplines, Aaron, and my favorite, sorry Aaron, I'm just kidding. No, but I started to reach out to them to figure out what was going on. And then I heard a talk from Aaron about designing your schedule, okay? It's very important. It's designing a schedule based on the importance and urgency of your tasks. Okay, so what that means is that you take everything in your life and you label it important, urgent, not important, and urgent, important and urgent, so on and so forth. There's 4 quadrants, okay? Once you start to label those things, I started to realize, wow, I was wasting a lot of time doing nothing. I was doing laundry at 6 p.m. when I could have been helping clients. I spent 2 extra days fishing. I shouldn't have. I should have been working on my business, right? I was going out with friends and family. And so I started to see that all the time I could gain back from what I was wasting. And honestly, I was abusing the TLG system because there's a lot of time. Once you start to get good at setting appointments and dialing, there's a lot of time. And if you abuse that time, you're never gonna reach the level that you see these people up here have reached. Never, all right? So you have to take and analyze where you're spending your time. What's important? What's important and urgent? So when Aaron did his talk, we talked about immovable blocks. For me, that's dials, okay? So every day I have 10 a.m. to 11 I'm dialing, and 5 to 6 p.m. I'm dialing every single day, right? 50 to 100 dials a day. That's what I do. Those are my immovable blocks. They cannot be moved. Sarah and I had to have a conversation because I had to cancel family events, right? But the good news is, being at TLG, I could schedule those in advance. So I wasn't missing them, but I made sure I prioritized my time and my business for my family. By the way, give a shout out to my lovely wife, Sarah. She is my biggest cheerleader and supporter. We just got married last July, and I couldn't be happier to have her by my side. So I love you, Sarah. And she's getting on board too, so let's go. Absolutely. So she's excited to beat my personal production, so that's going to be great. As far as going back to scheduling, once you create those blocks, then you start to layer it in. And you start to see the white space in your calendar. If you look at your calendar and you start blocking it out by times, right? You're going to start seeing little spaces in there. Those are dangerous because a little free time can end up turning into a lot of free time if you're not careful. A lot. So you need to fill those white spaces with money-making activities. For me, that is production. Anything to do with production, meeting with clients, dialing, getting paperwork done, and especially recruiting. Because if you want passive income, which is possible in this business, you need to recruit every single day. Every day, you need to be training every single day, okay? So once I started doing that, in 1 month, I hit 30K production from doing that, from revamping my schedule. Just revamping it, okay? So, as far as your scheduling is going, you've got to really look at yourself, right? Talk to yourself about what's important to you. You need to have that why. There needs to be something bigger than yourself to reach in order to build your schedule and start to see your goal. Because I guarantee you, once you start using your schedule correctly, you can see your future. You can see your future in your schedule. And it'll start to amaze you. You'll start doing great things. Be better than the person you were yesterday. All it takes is 1%. If I'm 1% better than yesterday, guess what? I'm going to be over 3.5 times better next year. Right? Right? So don't compare yourself to people who are at the top. Only compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Because if you live your life in the gap where you're constantly comparing yourself to everyone, you're just going to be chasing them. And once you get there, guess what? They're long gone. They're long gone because they're just focusing on getting better from their yesterday. So if you can do that, if you can manage your schedule, you're really, really going to start to amp up your business. Okay? What are your goals? Do I want to hit 10K? Do I want to hit 20K? Do I want to have an agency? And yes, you do want to have an agency. Absolutely. I know some of you are thinking, nah, recruiting's not for me. It is for you. You just haven't believed it yet. Yes. You need to believe in it, right? You can have what you want with this system. And you're going to see that this weekend. You're going to see the possibility. So that's why I said you need to keep an open mind. Think of the things you can do, the impossible things you wouldn't imagine. For me, it was retiring my father, right? My father doesn't have anything in retirement, and I know for a fact I will retire my father. Right? I will have the income. I will have the house that I want. No, I'm putting a house on the lake, I'll tell you what. I might create a paradox there, but whatever. But you really need to have that grit, that work ethic, that discipline. Because without any of those things, you are not going to make it. I'm being very blunt with all of you. We're not going to make it if you can't muster up those things. Get out of your own way. Nothing else matters. No one's going to sit here, oh, I did 10K this month. No one's looking down on you for that. Are you kidding me? Only you are looking down on you for that. So get up and go to work, TLG. That's what we're about. Get up and go to work. Right? I'll give you an example of my schedule. I work 6 times 6.5 days a week. I take time on Sunday evenings with my family. That is my schedule. So Saturday morning, we all dial from 8 a.m. to noon on Saturday because people are home, people are happy, right? They're easier to get a hold of. And then I'll set appointments for Saturday evening and Sunday morning, right? I love coming into the week on Monday with 3,000 to 5,000 annual premium. I'll tell you what. Already some money in my pocket. Yeah. And then I have my Monday, so I have my immovable blocks. I know that 10 a.m. Monday I'm going to be dialing, right? I know that at 5 p.m. I'm going to be dialing. I know that Monday morning is where I get up, I do, all my chores before 8 a.m. Why? Because 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. are your big block for money-making activities. You can do whatever you want before 8 a.m. and whatever you want after 8 p.m. Unless you're working West Coast, then it's really like 11 p.m. All right? Which I recommend doing if you want to get ahead. So, Monday mornings, I'm getting up, 7 a.m. I'm doing all the regular stuff that I need to do, shower, eat. 8 a.m. I'm checking my pending, I'm checking in with my team. 9 a.m. I'm going to start looking at recruiting, white sheeting, and then 10 is dials, right? Then we have our calls, 11:30 to 1 p.m. I have my calls, right? I know that. And then boom, from there, it's production, dials, recruiting from there. Then I do the same thing on Tuesday. And then I do the same thing on Wednesday. Then I do the same thing on Thursday and Friday and so on. And that's why I'm able to hit the production goals that I'm at. All right? So, if you want it, go get it. Have that work ethic. Question yourself, are you worth it? Because I know you are. You just have to believe in it. All right, TLG, so let's go!